The glass hit the floor before I even knew what was happening. Shattered, loud, like it was announcing my shame. I just stood there, frozen, with everyone in first class staring at me like I was the problem. And then she said it, this flight attendant with her perfect hair and that smile that was just a little too tight. "Ma'am," she whispered, "I think there's been a mistake. Someone your size doesn't really belong in first class." Yeah, that happened. Now, I've dealt with a lot of judgment in my life about my body, my skin, my voice, but never like this. Not in front of a dozen strangers, and definitely not when I'd done nothing wrong. What Heather didn't know, what no one on that flight knew, was that I wasn't just any passenger. I was there on purpose. My name's Imani Johnson. My father had just bought Skylight Airlines the day before, and I was sent on that flight undercover to see if the rumors about discrimination were true. Well, they were. I'd bought a legit first-class ticket under a different name. Nothing fake, nothing shady. Just wanted to blend in, see how they treated people who didn't look the part. I didn't expect to get called out in front of the whole cabin. Heather looked at me like I was taking up space I didn't deserve. "Passenger comfort," she kept saying, "fitting standards." Meanwhile, the white man next to me, bigger than me, was sipping champagne like royalty. I wasn't stupid. I knew exactly what this was. Then she brought over Mason. Big guy, serious face, clearly the muscle in the sky. He didn't even try to hide it. "We're going to need you to move to economy, ma'am, for everyone's comfort." When I refused, they called security, an air marshal of all people. And just like that, I was marched to economy like I'd done something wrong. No one said a word. I sat down in that cramped seat, clutching my notebook, trying to swallow the lump in my throat. That's when Jordan, this soft-spoken flight attendant from economy, came by with water and a whisper. "I'm sorry about what happened up there," he said. "It's not just you. It happens. A lot." I looked at him real careful. "What do you mean?" "There's something called Elite Sky," he said quietly. "An internal system, unofficial but real. They flag passengers who don't fit their premium image and make sure they stay in coach." That hit me hard. I asked if anyone had spoken out. He laughed, bitter and low. "One flight attendant tried, got all the bad shifts until she quit. HR's in on it." That's when I knew this wasn't a bad crew, this was a bad system. Later, I overheard Heather whispering to Mason, panic in her voice. "I checked the manifest. That woman, she's Marcus Johnson's daughter." His face went pale. "You sure?" "No," she said, "but we can't risk it. Delete the report. Say she was difficult." I had it all on tape. Suddenly, they were bending over backward to apologize. Champagne, upgraded meals. "So sorry for the confusion, Ms. Johnson." I just smiled. My size didn't change. So what exactly changed? Their faces said it all. But they weren't done. After the flight, I got randomly selected for extra screening. They took my phone, searched my bags like I was smuggling something. They were looking for the USB drive Jordan had given me. He'd slipped it to me discreetly, contained documents, memos, even data from that algorithm. I'd hidden it in my hair. Old trick. They didn't find it. But they didn't stop trying. My bag? Lost. My complaint at the counter? Rewritten. Discrimination became booking issue. Forced removal became voluntary reassignment. I asked to speak to a manager. They said the system was down. Of course it was. Even in the lounge, I couldn't breathe easy. I wasn't allowed in at first because, surprise, my seat had been changed to economy. But then a businessman I didn't even know stepped in. "She's with me," he said. "She belongs here." We talked. He said, "I saw what happened. I should have said something." "Yeah, you should have." But I appreciated the honesty. Better late than never, I guess. Later that night, I met with Jordan again. Brought along a civil rights lawyer named Catherine. Turns out, she'd been tracking complaints against Skylight for months. Just needed proof. Between Jordan's files and my recordings, we had enough to blow the lid off this thing. But that's when they hit back, hard. Suddenly, articles started popping up about me. Fake ones. Accusations that I'd faked discrimination before. Photos doctored to make me look aggressive. They even went after Catherine, filed ethics complaints. Jordan, fired. His sister lost her job. My father, who'd just had surgery, was rushed back to the hospital with mysterious complications. They said it was a reaction, but the security footage from his floor conveniently went missing. They wanted us scared, exhausted, silenced. But I'm not built like that. We got the story out. News broke. Hashtags trended. Former passengers came forward. Investors got nervous. Heather got suspended. Mason disappeared from the company directory. It looked like we were winning. But then, the board called an emergency meeting. Said my dad wasn't well enough to lead. Appointed a committee. Guess who? Richard Whitmore, Heather's uncle, former COO, architect of Elite Sky. They handed him back control just as the company was being exposed. I got a message that night. Video footage. Me in an airport bathroom, in hotel corridors, in my dad's hospital room, and a note. Cooperate, or it goes public. They'd been watching me the whole time. So yeah, it's been hell. But you know what? I'd do it again. Because this isn't just about me. It's about every person who's been told they don't belong, who's been humiliated quietly so someone else could feel comfortable. So now I want to ask you something. Have you ever seen this kind of thing and said nothing? Have you ever looked away because it was easier? Comment. 1, if you've ever spoken up for someone who was mistreated, or 2, if you stayed quiet, but now wish you hadn't. This story isn't just mine. It's ours. And we're done pretending not to see it.